Hope you're enjoying one. Thanks for watching. This is Solomon asking my latest review on Attack on Titan chapter 93. This chapter is called, the Night Train, or what you call it, Dark Night Train, because, it'll get to that in a minute, Dark Night Train, we get to see how in the beginning we get to see all these people at this meeting, including Zika, the guy who is the Beast Titan, we get to see them talking, like, it's literally basically what you call a strategy meeting, like, for example, they're talking about how the battle went through and what their future plans are. It seems, from what I can tell, it looks like all their plans of using Titans have what you call faltered because they literally taken a beating in this war. Basically, they're saying that what you call low on options, So basically, they were like trying to come up with what strategy is best to take it and take the Titan founder's power, but we're not losing most of their main force, Basically, they've been using the Titans so far as their best weapon, so far. But now that their enemies have developed more advanced anti-Titan weapons, in these past 4 years, we find out that how now that things are now different. They have, so they're now like so the side of the war has literally shifted to the Eldians, and right now the Marleyans right now are not the dominant superpower in the world. Even they're trying to make plans to make for other countries. They just still what you call not in the best place right now. For them, it's what you call a problem. So they're trying to find out what they're gonna do next, what kind of strategies they're gonna be doing. And if they're doing like this, they're trying to focus on Paradise Island because Paradise Island, where this all began. However, they can't do that because one thing, and they sent ships in the past before, like 32 of them, and they all got destroyed. They all went missing. And so most like, and they talked about Aaron and his crew. So they basically saying that Aaron and their forces have taken over the Paradise Island, and so there's a chance they probably either gotten the power of the Founder Titan, or they aren't, or they're still looking for it. Basically, this just gives you a lot more details because we get to hear some details. They know about Aaron's existence, about him having the power of the Attacker Titan, and all that stuff, and also the fact that they lost several of their main groups. Like for example, they lost the Colossal and the Arm and the Female Titan. Those Titans are all gone. So, and there's, and they're still, and according to them, there's at least what you call four Titan shifters on their side. That's taken that power. That's what they said. Seeing from the point of view from the enemies, we get to know that the war is still going on, but it looks like they're what you call losing it. Which means that Aaron and their crew are doing a good job. We even get to see them later. And talking about the Survey Corps, horror, and between Zika and his son. His name is Colt. We get to see him talking with his son. And his son, Colt, telling him about this Survey Corps and also about how their best weapons being the members of the Ackerman family, that being Mikasa and Levi. The fact that they have this power. Remember, these guys have the ability to resist the Titan power. That makes them their ace in the hole. Those two are the strongest. And seeing how they went through this, he even proposes to continue to launch an attack on Paradise Island because he wants to make sure that that's their best option. However, the leaders of the faction, of the Mareyans, they're not all in agreement. So they want to do this because they leave him, and this is the guy they call him the Miracle because he performed a miracle before, and also so he sold out his own parents. They know his resolve, selling out his parents, his family. He's being a loyal soldier, even discussing about he only has 2 years of tenure. What does that mean, 2 years? Does that mean he has 2 years left of his lifespan? Before he starts to deteriorate and start to die or whatever? With the whole Titan shifter thing, that's gotta be something, right? Right, and there are still others. Let's see that we get to see Reiner again. Reiner out of his Titan form, We also get to see the guy who was the other Titan, the new Harrier Titan. His name is Galliard. Apparently he's the brother of a guy that Reiner knew back before, or he infiltrated. Walmart became a Titan shifter and all that stuff. And apparently we get to see that he was a part of the same group. You know, well, when you see it like that, it's definitely very unique. Because I never knew who, like, what was Reiner's past. We get to see this guy, talking to Reiner, especially about him saying that he blames him for his brother's death, that he let him die. We also get to find out a shocking reveal that Ymir is dead. That they killed Ymir, and this guy has Ymir's powers now. You know, so the Ymir is dead. That's something. It looks like she's never gonna marry Krista Historia. And she said that in that letter. That she sent, to Historia a while back, that they were not gonna make it, that she wasn't, she wasn't. Seeing how they went through this, it's very, very grim and sad when you think about it. We don't get to see this girl, her name is Pico, I think. Piku, apparently she too is a Titan shifter, and she was a part of the bombardment on it. But after 2 months, she's back to being human again. But her body is like, all limp. Like she has to use a crutch, to keep her moving. It looks like she's like a normal sweet girl, but given that she was a part of the fighting at some point in her life, it's obvious she's not what you call, on it back to full health. Her and the others, and she was a part of the fighting too. And she's like Gilgard's sister or whatever. When you look at this, we get to see this, from the perspective of the enemy, literally, because we got to see so much. I like this because it's got character development, and we also get to find out that that Eren and his group, they're definitely still alive. We're probably gonna get some more answers, as later down the line. How they're all later, Oh, Reiner, he goes to and sees the cadets. He gets to see them. He gets to see Garbo. Well, I think that's the girl with the bombs. Upu, Udu, Sofo, and Falco. These are the kids who was a part of the battle. These are the cadets. And how they treat Reiner as kind of like this big brother. Someone who looked out for them. And in fact, the 104th Cadet Corps kind of looked like Reiner as a big brother because that's what he acted like. But to be fair, that was just a lie, just to get them to trust him, that was just an act. And that was the way Gilgard's brother acted before he let him die, how they treat Reiner as his big brother and all that stuff, it's obviously they're warriors trained to fight, These are child soldiers. They fully committed to the Marleyans or wiping out the Eldians and taking the Titan power. They're even talking about one day they will inherit, the power of the Titans, Like literally if Reiner dies or gets sick, basically, whatever, he's unable to fight, they will literally have someone become another Titan ship and just assume his responsibilities, That is just, it's obviously they believe to or later, we get to see them on this train or whatever, and they get to have fun, It's like they're fun, because they're getting ready to go on this trip, It's obviously they're traveling, that's just a part of, I guess that's just their regiment, their military force trip. They're going from place to place, I think area to area for battle, just mobilizing. How we get to see like the youngest, a young kid, he says he's the brother of Colt, that makes him Zika's son, and Chris's grandson. In a way, so seeing way he acts, like literally saying that being Titan, I'm like denouncing the fact that they're going to be inherent to Titan power, even though it's a big even though to them it's a big honor, he thinks it's nonsense. How Reiner just literally sets him straight, and, like puts the fear of God, saying and stuff, and made him like threaten him, say if you say that reported to the higher ups and his brother will never, become great or whatever, become inheritor of the Titan power. Which when you say that, seeing how Reiner acts, how cold he can get, this is definitely what Reiner was like, before we knew him, before he infiltrated the military, in the scout and all that stuff, This is his true self, we get to see these military. We get to see. I like this chapter because we get to see more characters, more development. We even get to see them talk about him building more sophisticated aircrafts or whatever, so they can drop bombs on their enemies. Like saying that they wish they had more that had more firepower because their time powers are not cutting it as much as they do, you know. But Zika is trying to convince them to go back, you know, that continue with their mobilizing forces because he is a genius and he is their lead commander, you know, one of their lead commanders, you know, one of their best assets, you know, and they want to believe him, you know. However, this side, given the situation, this tide could turn either way. I can't wait to see what happens next. I hope we get the next chapter. We get to find out what about Eren and his group, what happened to them, and all that stuff. I want to see Eren, Mikasa, and Armin what happened after 4 more years have passed. You know, I want to see what happened to them. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed this one. Alright, thank you. This is all I'm gonna ask. Give my latest review on Titan chapter 93. See you guys next time. I'm out. I'll put a link in the description for the other video. Bye.